Correction, a rich gypsy merchant, nigga.
A rich gypsy merchant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sounds like a rich gypsy merchant.
My dog selling that sumac by the brick.
And that saffron. Yeah,
You feel me? He got the Mediterranean restaurants on lock.
type shit. And with that being said, what up, y'all? It's 40 Sign the Jade Emperor, aka Saint Remy LeBeau in this bitch. You feel me? Back at it again with another one. And to my left, I have.
Motherfucking Motor Pro. You feel me? If you're stressing, let it go. Fuck one of these hoes. I
Ah.
don't know. I might just feel like saying it, but yeah, it is what it is. Don't be.
So the occasion for today is I just kind of decided I had the notion or the intention, or funnily enough, ironically, the intention of my intuition to record what we were doing. So I'm gonna start reading it from the beginning, and hopefully y'all get some shit out of this shit. And if not, well, turn the shit off. Anyway, this is the book I'm reading from. Type shit. Go get you that. You know what I'm saying? So, intention. I believe that if you have taken the time to choose the goal and door for you, it shows that you have intention. Intention is what transforms a desire into a goal. Without intention, desires are never realized and dreams do not come true. A goal is different to a dream in the same way that intention is different to desire. When you have intent, your dream becomes a specific goal. Empty dreams and castles in the air will not change anything in life. Only intention, an example, the will to have and act can change your life. So the book is stating that intention is the will to have and act. The will to have is simply just desire. You have to act on that desire or that will to have to actually get something. So just sitting around praying for something is not faith of a mustard seed. Yep.
Faith without works is dead.
There you go. Faith without works is dead faith. Very well put. You got anything you want to add to that, brother? What I just read?
Nah, it's too well seasoned, man. You don't need no extras.
For surely. Shall we? Let us suppose that you have managed to define your goal and are full of the will essential to achieving it. You are burning with impatience to get going. This is the moment to release the grip. Reduce the importance surrounding your goal and abandon any attachment to reaching it so that all is left is your intent. All that remains then is to act within the context of purified intention. An example, to do everything that is expected of you without desiring or pushing for the end result. The only thing that can spoil your progress along the path to your goal is taking on the burden of excessive responsibility, making excessive effort, extreme diligence, or coercion. In the context of the conventional worldview, this may sound strange and unfamiliar. However, I hope that by now you at least will not find the idea absurd or harebrained. Now we are going to turn everything on its head. All right, cool. So I guess what he's saying here is you have a goal, you have an intention. The minute you start taking on the burden of feeling like I have to, and creating all of that excess potential or importance on it, you actually doing yourself a massive disservice because you'll be unsatisfied the entire time. And the universe speaks in energy. So you're giving off this unsatisfied energy, and the universe can only say yes. So it's going to give you more things to be unsatisfied about. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So if you just focus on your journey and not the destination, um, if your actions dictate your actions being walking down a path, if you know what the destination is and you've already determined that walking in that direction will get you to that destination, you no longer need to worry about the destination because the action of walking will get you to wherever it is you said you want it to be. On that path, if you find yourself not getting to that destination, maybe you've chosen the wrong goal, or maybe you need to consult your map, which is your intuition and desire. Do you truly desire this, or does it sound cool to say?
Exactly. You just like the idea shit.
Right. Idealization of things does not make them manifest.
Indeed. It's important to change the verbiage of things too, because that's why it's important too to practice internal alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
Always reshape your mindset. Because I I had there's a lot of people can see empathize where I come from. A lot of times when I want to do things or have to, I always say I gotta do this, I gotta do that. When you could just switch it around and be like, let me just do this. Well, I gotta do this. All right. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, I gotta do this. Like, you don't have to put no emotion behind it, or you know what I'm saying? It doesn't need it. Just action.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a means to an end, nothing more, nothing less. The moment if you're gonna put emotion on it, put confidence, put determination. Don't put frustration or despair, or you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. But me personally, um I can't say I look at it as a duty bound. I just look at it as a checklist. All right, what's next? Do this. All right, bet. As long as you get up and get that. For the people that procrastinate, like myself, procrastination is very simple. You really, it's really a layer of thoughts that keep you from making the first move. When all you got to do is, if you make that first move to do it, everything else is easy. You just got to get up and do it. Once you do it, you know what I'm saying? It might not necessarily, the acting itself might not be easy, but just making that first step is easy. Like, don't put no thought on it. Just get up and do it. That's what helped me. Once you put them thought, once that first thought comes, 10 more thoughts gonna come. And then now it's tomorrow. And then after another 10 thoughts, now it's 2 weeks. Another 10 thoughts. Now it's 6 months. So you gotta buy, once you got the thought to do it, just do it. First the thought, then the action. It doesn't have to be complex. It doesn't have to be complex. It can be very simple if you let it. And that's what I learned from personal experience.
Well said, brother. The only thing I would add to that is, instead of saying I gotta do it, you could just simply say, damn, I get to do this.
Indeed.
Not I have to do this. I get to do this. I get the opportunity to do this. Just changing your paradigm, right? Remember the
And
serenity prayer. That's what I always tell people. Just remember the serenity prayer. Can't change shit but you.
indeed. That's what I had to learn. I got a shit, boy. I'm still working on taking it out of my vocabulary, to be honest. I just say this needs to be done and then go do
Type shit. Picking up what you're putting down, playboy.
it. If you know it needs to be done, either two things you're gonna do: action or non-action.
Just remember the yin yang symbol. Sometimes non action is what's required. You always have to be doing shit.
Indeed.
Overdoing shit. My mentor always says, I don't want to overcook the grits. Yeah, like a recipe, like when you cooking, like sometimes you just gotta put the lid on it and let it simmer. You don't need to be stirring it the entire time it's in the goddamn pot, right?
And
It's like watching water boil. Walk away. It'll boil eventually.
you did everything that needed to do. Now you just gotta be patient.
Type shit. Let's see. When you are moving towards your goal through the right door, there is no need to apply excessive effort, nor should you have to force yourself to do anything. If you find the opposite is true, you have either chosen the wrong goal or the wrong door. The mind is accustomed to struggle and having to overcome obstacles, and yet the mind creates all these problems itself by attributing excessive meaning and fighting against the alternative flow. Your ideal lifeline will contain minimal obstacles as long as you do not lean too hard on importance. Go after your goal in the same way that you go to get the mail from the letterbox. What will remain of intention if you purify it of what? Okay, so that was a question. What will remain of intention if you purify it of importance and desire? All that will remain is the will to have and the need to place one foot in front of the other. Stop imagining the post to be a problem and simply put one foot in front of the other in the direction of the letterbox. Do not think about the problem. Act, create momentum, irrespective of how things might turn out, and then the problem will be resolved in the process. Inner intention of the mind will urge you to slap your hands about in the water. Quote, I insist that such and such will happen, end quote. Outer intention functions entirely differently to internal intention. Quote, it turns out that such and such has happened, end quote. All the time that you are insisting on something, pressuring for something to happen, you are preventing outer intention from realizing your goal in harmony with the alternative flow. For how can the mind know exactly how the goal should be realized?
Mm. I might get to read that motherfucker again.
Read it again. All right. Go after your goal in the same way that you go to get the mail from the letterbox. What will remain of intention if you purify it of importance and desire? All that will remain is the will to have and the need to place one foot in front of the other. Stop imagining the mail to be a problem and simply put one foot in front of the other in the direction of the letterbox. Do not think about the problem. Act, create momentum, irrespective of how things might turn out, and then the problem will be resolved in the process. Inner intention of the mind will urge you to slap your hands about in the water. Quote, I insist that such and such happen. End quote. Outer intention functions entirely differently to internal intention. Quote, it turns out that such and such has happened. End quote. All the time that you are insisting on something, pressuring for something to happen, you are preventing outer intention from realizing your goal in harmony with the alternative flow. For how can the mind know exactly how the goal should be realized? I guess that's basically having attachment to a specific outcome that you see and not allowing for it to happen naturally. You want it to look like this. So if it don't look like this, then you'll trick yourself into thinking, oh, I'm not on my path. Whereas the whole time you were doing exactly what you needed to do. But since you want to be a fake ass psychic motherfucker and think you know everything, you actually take yourself off the path by trying to get on it because you think you're not on it.
Nigga putting himself in a headlock for no reason.
Type shit. You ever seen that meme where it's like that little kid with that boot on his face and then it zoom out and the boot is on his arm and he got it like this and shit?
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is. Nobody can get in your way but you. The flip side of that is stop getting in your own motherfucking way. And the people that you're around can never get in your way because they're aligned with you. Get in alignment. Type shit. Okay. Moving towards a true goal through the door that is meant for you is like passing along a well-trodden road. No one and nothing can stop you if importance What the fuck? Hold on. The book was translated from Russian to English, so it's like some grammatical errors in it and shit. So sometimes I gotta put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Let's see. It's worth it. Let me work it. Fuck.
Type shit.
Let me do my thing real fast.
Sometimes you gotta slow cook it past them.
Yeah, type shit. Tabernacle. No one and nothing can stop you. If this is what the book says, no one and nothing can stop you if importance, as long as importance is kept at a minimal level, and you refrain from fighting against the alternative flow. Now, in my brain, that don't make no motherfucking sense. So I'm trying to like run it through the translator real fast.
I ain't gonna lie. Like as you was reading it, when it got to a certain point, my mind rewinded it like 60 times. And then I got confused.
No one and nothing can stop you. Okay, so I'm gonna just do it like this. I'm gonna take some words out. No one and nothing can stop you as long. What the fuck, bro? No one and nothing can stop you if importance is kept at bay, as long as importance is kept at a minimal level, and you refrain from fighting against the alternative flow. I'm just gonna say that. I would like to move along from that. I feel like if you hear it enough, you be able to glean from it whatever the fuck you need to glean from it. Because you are walking your true path, you have nothing to worry about, even if difficulties temporarily arise. Give yourself permission to enjoy life and accept everything that comes to you as a gift. As soon as you feel a cloud forming over your holiday, try to discern where you have increased importance. What is it that is preying on your mind? There is a ready answer to this question. If you are forcing yourself to do something, you are overly impatient to achieve your goal, or you are attributing something excessive importance. You must relax your grip. Oppressive thoughts and feelings can arise as a result of a narrow comfort zone. For example, if as a result of achieving your goal, you plan to receive a large sum of money, a whole range of anxious thoughts may instantly pop up. Where should you keep it? How should you invest it? What if I lose it? How should I spend it most wisely? What if they take it back? With this state of mind, you are not ready to have the money.
Man, as you was reading that, parents don't know how much they mentally handicap their kids by not teaching them certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Because you should definitely I would like as early as possible you should teach your kids it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to bump your head to learn.
Mistakes is how you learn.
Yeah. Most people don't know that because most people get their ass beat when they make mistakes as a youngin. And
Mm-hmm.
then you carry it with you and it affects you. And then you browbeat yourself as a adult when you don't do things. And it just come in this loop of putting access and important on things, even if you and then you don't do it, and then you put yourself in it, you stress yourself out even more, and then you get this downward spiral of depression and everything. And I'm thinking about I'm putting myself in this shit too. That's what I was speaking from experience. Because now, but a person that don't be giving a fuck, I show browbeat myself about shit. And then I'm thinking about it, like I never had margins for error as a kid. I never was taught it's okay to make mistakes. Never was taught that shit. When I made mistakes, I got fussed at constantly, excessively. And my mama, not necessarily because he might have been taught that way, but at some point that shit got to stop. And that's probably why I don't have kids. Like inherently, I knew like, man, if you don't have a certain mindset and you're in a certain situation, you don't need to be having kids. You got to be in a certain mental space. You got to be able to impart certain things so that when a child is an adult, they can live their life as they see fit. 'Cause that shit, that's a very important lesson to tell your kids. Because you will trap yourself in your thoughts. Literally be caged with negative thoughts because you made a mistake or because you scared to lose some shit.
Mm,
Like nigga, just if you know it's okay to hmm, make mistakes and you understand that's how you learn, then the world is your oyster for real. Now
mm,
you really do look at the world for what it is, a simulation, a game. This shit is really a game.
mm.
That's why people that's winning play it as they do.
Watch
It's
this.
crazy.
You play 2K, right?
Mhm.
let's say let's say you're the point guard on your team. On your my player is the point guard. Okay. Um, you coming down the court and Giannis is guarding you, right? Giannis is maybe what, 6'8", 6'9", defensive powerhouse. You come into the paint and you try to dunk on Giannis. What's most likely to happen?
You get your shit sent to the stand.
All right, cool. Should you do it again?
Nope.
So you made a mistake. Perhaps you thought you could do it. And then you made that mistake because your my player as a point guard might be 6'2", 6'3", and his dunk stat might be like 60. And you ain't got no badges in that. But you tried to go dunk on Giannis. You made a mistake and you learn from it. Okay, what Giannis can't do, he ain't faster than me. So if I want to get a dunk or a layup off, when he come out to the perimeter, I need to be crossing this nigga over because I'm faster. I'm gonna get to the dunk. I'm gonna get to the basket before he does. I'm gonna get. It's a higher chance of success. But if I had not made that mistake, um, I'm more than likely gonna use the. I'm gonna lose the game if I keep trying to do that and not learning from that mistake. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or call for the pick and get somebody on you that you absolutely can dunk on. Got to experiment, essentially.
Yeah. Fuck around and find out. You got to be a scientist with life for sure.
So, just based off of what the book said, if I gave you $400 million, what's the first thing you doing with it?
I'm investing.
What would you invest in?
E-estate,
What's that?
uh, digital tokenized real estate,
Digital tokenized real estate. Why would you invest in that?
because it yields dividends daily. So if you invest a, if you invest a certain amount, you actually get profit from it, and that's like the most logical thing to do. Because people get you can get caught up in having a lump sum of money. A lump sum of money is not an income; it's a lump sum of money. You need to make sure that you are making money. So the best thing to do is to take your dollars and put it somewhere that's gonna make more dollars.
It reminds me of like how you described it. It reminds me of like a pimp and a hoe type relationship. Whereas like you be the pimp and the dollars is your hoe, and you putting them on the blade to cut themselves and bleed out and bring that cheese back.
Indeed, it's definitely some Fillmore Slim shit for sure. But I have my monies.
Shit. You know me? That sounds like some ism right there. So you would put all 400 million into that?
Mm, I'm not necessarily sure, but I would invest most of it because you don't necessarily just need liquid finances just sitting. You know what I'm saying? Because money go down. So you know what I'm saying? Money inflation is a motherfucker. So you just sitting around with liquid money sitting around. That shit you really just you playing yourself. You might as well spend it because it's not gonna be worth what it was when you first got it a year down the line. You know what I'm saying? That's just proof in the pudding from what things was worth in the 80s and not what it's worth right now. You know what I'm saying? So you got to put your money in things that appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to count that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be walking around. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I just want.
It is funny, like when niggas get large amounts of money, they turn into Katana from Mortal Kombat and shit.
That's the trick though. That just mean, you know what I'm saying? The programming one. That you think the dollar really is something. It's what you can get with it that's something. It's the assets. You know what I'm saying? You gotta that's why one of the things that's why I'm kind of grateful that I got the um I got the knowledge of what an asset and liability is before I actually started actually getting before the funds came.
Mm.
You know? 'Cause the moment that money touch your hands and you don't have the knowledge to, you know what I'm saying, of what it is, you already failed. That shit is already gone. It's a matter of time.
So, in a very simple way, for the viewers at home that may not know this, what is an asset and what is a liability?
All right. So a liability would be something that you pay for that either something that you pay for that does not increase your value and could possibly be a cash pit, meaning it bleeds you, it bleeds your funds. An asset is something that you invest in that brings you revenue.
Okay.
So literally the polar opposite. The liability is something that you invest in that could take away value from you, and an asset is something that you invest in that will increase your value.
Okay. Can you give me, like I said, for the people at home, I know you know this shit. You know I know this shit. But people that may not know this, right? Can you give me three examples of a liability and three examples of an asset?
All right. So um, I say a Maserati. Buy that bitch off the lot about 110, 20. By the time you drove off the lot, they done took about 30, 40 bands off that bitch. Um, by the following year, that bitch probably worth for Cadillac CTS.
Mm.
You look that shit up right now. Let's see what else.
So a
Um,
Maserati would be a liability.
Indeed,
Okay. Two more.
money into it. As soon as you drop off the lot, it dropped in value. So you really played yourself.
Mm.
Um, let's see another liability. Buying motherfuckers, trick. You say, you know what I'm saying? You get you a little cheese. You start feeling yourself. You get you a little girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Because you stunting and you put money in her, but you get nothing back for real. And then when the money is gone, she gone. It's a liability. Um, Drug addiction. You get nothing from that shit. You were down there sacrifice your life to get that hit. Then you look up your last dollar gone, and now you can't get high no more, and you have no funds. Uh, as far as assets, um, I say crypto with utility, meaning it's important to the blockchain. It's something like um, something that can't be replaced.
Okay.
So it's value when it at some point is going to appreciate. Uh, Real estate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying always can put you can always trust you know what I'm saying some land you know what I'm saying is since civilization land has always been valuable, and then you can go to the precious metals, God's money.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been, appreciative value since civilization was around as well.
Shit. We can go look at the motherfucking price of gold and the price of silver right now and see that.
Right, fucking not anytime something fucked up the stock market fucked up or something, it's some type of financial crisis. Precious metals always going up, so you can't go wrong. Just live it this way. If society was fucked right now and the dollar just plummeted, you can't do shit with that dollar, but you could do something with some gold bars, nigga.
You can do a lot.
For sure, for sure.
You can do a whole lot with some gold bars.
Like, oh, so I got on my mom.
But see, the thing is, I'm gonna just use the example of gold for a second. Most people only look at gold from a physical standpoint, um, but there are spiritual components to being around gold. Gold carries a specific frequency,
Indeed.
right? A specific vibration. Silver, specific frequency, a specific vibration. Copper, specific frequency, a specific vibration. That's why subconsciously niggas don't even know that.
Wow.
They don't even know why they still in that water heater for real. Why the copper is that? Why it's worth something. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to get a couple of dollars in their pocket. You're better off keeping the copper. Antimicrobial, antiviral, antibacterial, bunch of shit.
If you look at how wealthy people uh, build their homes, they for sure using copper piping for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why they very intentional.
It changes the properties of the water that comes out of those pipes. What does money represent? Water, feng shui, wind, water. How energy flows, it's like water. It's like air.
Actual factuals.
Type shit. And I like to, while I'm reading, provide real world examples and shit. So I'm not just reading. Like, do I understand or comprehend what I'm reading? Can I put it simple like that? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's definitely important, especially how tricky the English language is.
Exactly. So if I read this again, I use the example of 400 million. I'm gonna read it again. Oppressive thoughts and feelings can arise as a result of a narrow comfort zone. For example, if as a result of achieving your goal, you plan to receive a large sum of money, a whole range of anxious thoughts may instantly pop up. Where should you keep it? How should you invest it? What if I lose it? How should I spend it most wisely? What if they take it back? With this state of mind, you are not ready to have the money. So to use the $400 million example, you're not a $400 million nigga because you don't know what to do with $400 million. The minute you find that out and have the answers, right? First thing I'm doing, I'm getting a tax advisor. I'm getting an attorney. I'm getting a financial advisor. I'm getting someone that understands setting up trusts. I'm getting insurance policies, life insurance, whole life insurance policies. I'm going to fund those as per the instructions of my financial advisor and my insurance agent. And then the people that I want to make rich, I'm going to make beneficiaries of those policies. And I'm going to use that money grows at a rate that hopefully will outperform inflation. I can then go into my policy, borrow money against myself, and then go buy the thing I want. How does that make sense? I just made myself a bank because now what I can do is if I got a $500,000 policy, if I borrow 10%, which would be $50,000, I don't have to pay it. The policy stays at $500,000. So let's say I make you a beneficiary on my policy. The policy is $500,000. You're the beneficiary. I borrow 50K from it and I never pay it back. The policy stays at 500,000. If I never pay it back, the minute I die, the insurance company takes the 50,000 and now the policy is worth 450,000 and now you just got 450,000 because you are my beneficiary. I can make you rich just by dying. But it's also life insurance, not death insurance. So by me doing that, if I ever have a problem in life, I got $500,000 that I can go pull from to solve my problem. It's because I'm insuring my life. Niggas take better care of their cars. Niggas got car insurance and not life insurance. When your car is part of your life, you can use your life insurance to go buy a car. And then you decide what your note gonna be. Well, today I'm gonna pay 100. Next month, I'm feeling good. I might throw 3 at it. To my understanding, if I'm incorrect and a fucking life insurance agent, expert, happen to see this, please correct me in the comments. Please correct me, because all that's gonna do is just make me better at the end of the day.
Type shit. Man,
So
you just listen to Rich Not Broke because what the Rothschilds do.
that's literally go read that book. What would the Rothschilds do? What would the Rockefellers do? That's what it's called. What would the Rockefellers do? That's the name of the book. Go get that. Cash value whole life insurance policy. A nigga in the book it say everybody has a policy. Everybody is a beneficiary of something. A nigga can fuck the money up, and when they die, it all gets replaced back. No harm, no foul.
Truly.
Let's see. When the realization of when the realization of the dream is fraught with these kind of issues, inner inhibitions will turn the page, inevitably arise, and with it, the subconscious striving to free yourself of the cause. In this case, outer intention will work against you. The will to have must be constantly maintained, although it is not essential to be picturing the target slide in your mind all the time. It is a pleasant thing to think about the goal you desire, and so you do not have to use persuasion and coercion. You can try and convince yourself of something until the cows come home, but you will never be successful. Unlike autosuggestion, with intention, the decision has been made and the decision is final. Nothing is open to discussion. The goal will be reached. That is self evident. Any doubts will fall away of their own accord as you continue widening the limits of your comfort zone. So it ain't about being uncomfortable. It's about stretching out your comfort zone so that if you could visualize for a second, let's say you contained in this motherfucking dome, and everything within this dome has everything you're comfortable with. Everything outside of the dome makes you uncomfortable. You don't need to leave the dome. You need to stretch the dome out. So more things that are uncomfortable outside the dome are now within the dome, which represents comfortability. Fair enough.
Indeed.
So, as an example, we were talking about, okay, you want to go live in China, but you don't know any Chinese. You don't just pack your shit up and go to China. That's you could do that, but that's like a less efficient way of doing it. Go move to a place where people speak English and Chinese. I said Chinese, right? Move to a Chinatown in your state, in your city, where they can speak English and Chinese, right? So you can talk to them and say, hey, I would like to learn Chinese. And they could teach you trickles of it over time. And if you make a mistake, they can correct you in English and then say, no, this is what this means. After a while, you'll pick up on the language enough to where now you can move to China because you have that foundation. And now you're just immersing yourself in the environment, which will make your Chinese even better. So you're stretching your bubble out over time to where China is now within your comfort zone instead of leaving your comfort zone and trying to find some comfortability. Type,
Makes sense.
type shit. Type shit. Told you, bro, when we got on this bitch, nigga, Sage 6 pass mode, bro. Sage mode, nigga. Okay. You got anything you want to add to that?
Nah. I will say this though. It's crazy. They teach it seems like they re-rock shit so much. Like people teach you to being uncomfortable is the best way to grow and all that shit. And then the person has already done what you try to do to tell you the total opposite the whole time. Like just out here just to have you in a have you confused for no reason. The sermon is a motherfucking boy. I'll tell you that shit.
I wish to warn you against making a major mistake. Let's talk that shit then. This is a warning. So let's see what he's saying. There is one more false stereotype to be aware of. This stereotype encourages you to think positively and only examine successful potential outcomes. However strange it sounds, this is indeed a false stereotype, and there are so many. Do you think you could manage to limit your thinking exclusively to successful outcomes? Hardly. If you strive to exclude negative potential outcomes from your script, it will not work because it is almost impossible to convince the mind that everything could go so smoothly. The mind is perfectly capable of acting the part, pretending that it believes the scenario you are presenting. But deep in your heart, you will still have doubts because the mind is doubting. The heart will unquestionably come across the negative alternative where the mind has chucked in the closet. You do not need to include any scenarios in your target slide that depict you in the act of achieving your goal. The target slide must simply depict a final picture of what life looks like to you once the goal has already been achieved, as if you already have it. All that is required is that you take pleasure in watching the slide and that you put one foot in front of the other with the help of purified inner intention. Visualization of the process involves working on the scenery, but in a completely different way. You convince the mind that okay, let me slow down. You convince the mind not that everything will go smoothly, but that everything is already going smoothly. Visualization of the current link in the transfer chain should keep pace with what you are doing now and what you will be doing just one step ahead of that. In convincing yourself that everything will come to favorable fruition, you continue to hold the deadly grip of control. Relax the grip. Do not think about problems that have not happened yet. Just go calmly with the alternative flow. That's the end of the excerpt. Hope y'all enjoyed that shit. Hope you got something from that, brother. I got some shit from that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm grateful.
So I plan on doing a lot more of these, if nothing else, so I can watch myself tear this shit down. You know what I'm saying? One time for the one time. Hear that shit? Because sometimes it'd be hard to sit down and read. So my mentor always says we need to catch up to the future, which is audiobooks. And I really fuck with myself. So I'm more likely to take in the information if I'm reading it to me. You know what I'm saying?
You know what you're dropping, brother.
Thank you for coming today, brother.
Thank you for inviting me.
Type shit. So if y'all like more of these, let me know in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Go get the book. I'll show it again. Hold on. This is the name of the book. Reality Transurfing Steps 1 through 5 by Vadim Zeland. Type shit.
Type shit.
This is what it looked like. Ain't no price on the back of this bitch. Last time I looked, it was like $65 on Amazon. You just spent more on liquor and cheap horrors. So go get that. And that shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day somebody watching that shit will want to come on here with us and break it down with us. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all free to do so. We have a podcast on the way where we'll be doing these types of things. So y'all free to come on and make it do what it do and it do how it do with us. I'm 40 Sign the J Emperor, aka Saint Remy LeBeau, motherfucking GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Motor Pro, aka the All Father. You feel me? I'm gonna keep it short and simple. I hope that you got key points and hit your subconscious and it registers at crunch time, you know what I'm saying? So that you can, body step the fuckery in life and thrive.
type shit.
Nothing more.
So yeah, we out. Take care. Peace profound.
He's profound.